Here we go. Week 3 NFL review. Pretty solid week this week. Amid all the kneeling and other extracurricular not coming out the locker room and what the president said. Football-wise, it was a pretty solid weekend in week 3. Started out Thursday night with what most people thought was a stinker of a game. Turned out to be pretty solid. The Rams may have some pieces to build with. I mean, you're looking at Jared Goff, Todd Gurley. If they re-sign Aaron Donald, I mean, you got some solid pieces. And that division is by far, wide open with Seattle struggling, Arizona getting older. They might have a shot at some point to move up the rankings in there. They beat the 49ers who, have a few bits and pieces here and there, but they're not going to compete in that division. Moving over to yesterday morning, which is great for football fans. You wake up at 9:30 in the morning, there's football on. Terrible for Baltimore Ravens fans. They probably never want to go back to England. And Blake Bortles might want to move there. Jacksonville looked really good, whipping the Baltimore Ravens in England. Started off with the 1 o'clock games. Denver had a big win over Dallas last week. Laid an egg this week at Buffalo. That's just the way it goes in the NFL. Road favorites are terrible, and I took a bunch of them last week. Kind of a surprise. The underdog New Orleans Saints killed the Carolina Panthers by double digits. Cam Newton's just not the same as he was. He did have a running touchdown, but generally running's not part of his repertoire anymore, and he's not going to beat anybody just with his arm. Plus, the injuries of Kelvin Benjamin and the broken foot of Greg Olsen, that limits his options throwing the football. So Panthers might be in for a long season. Pittsburgh decided to stay in the locker room, and they probably should have stayed there. Got beat by the Bears in overtime. Jordan Howard's a solid running back for Chicago. Atlanta, Detroit, most controversial game of the day. Atlanta wins. They look pretty solid. On the road, they win. Detroit had the ball, down at the half-yard line. Time ran out. That was a pretty controversial play. Looked like it could have been either way. Before review, that's a touchdown, and the Lions win. So, sucks for the Lions. Another stinker that turned out to be pretty good. Colts and Browns. Colts get their second win under Jacoby Brissett. So, we'll see what happens there. See if they can hold off long enough for Andrew Luck to get back and not be too buried in their division. Most disappointing game for me was Tampa Bay, Minnesota. Minnesota looked really good. Steph Diggs, Devin Cook looked really good yesterday. And I thought Tampa Bay would look better. And they did not. Jameis Winston didn't look very good. It's a road game. But still, get beat by 17. That's kind of embarrassing. Surprise game, the Texans. The Texans were 30 seconds away from upsetting Tom Brady and the Patriots at home. Deshaun Watson did turn the ball over a couple times, but he had some good scrambles and some good throws. And the Texans may be all right in that division. They're going to have to face the Titans. They're going to have to beat the Titans out for that division. But, they can get some running game. The defense is playing well. I mean, for all intents and purposes, they had a real good shot at that game. But, Tom Brady brought them back and stole it from them. But very good game for the Houston Texans early. The Dolphins suck. I thought the Jets sucked. The Dolphins suck worse. They wasted $10 million on Jay Cutler. He's terrible. Both of those teams suck, but Miami's worse. The Giants tried to get back on track with Philadelphia. Had a chance. Went in overtime. Or as time running out, Elliott, the kicker from the Eagles, kicked a 61-yarder. And that was clutch. The Giants are going to struggle in that division. The Redskins are good. The Eagles are good. The Cowboys are good. The Giants will be looking for a draft pick by week 6 or 7. Tennessee, a solid win at home against the Seahawks. Seahawks struggling early. Just can't seem to figure out that offense. Don't have a good running game, and their defense gave up 33 yesterday. So it's going to be it's wide open in the NFC West, and the Titans are taking charge. And I guess that's the AFC South. Cincinnati Green Bay was a surprise. Green Bay coming off that loss at Atlanta, I thought they'd rebound well, but Cincinnati jumped out there ahead, was up 14-0, 21-7. Aaron Rodgers did his magic, brought the team back, got them to overtime, and then won 27-24. So Green Bay's still in that, in the middle somewhere, in the median. Can't tell if they're going to be good or bad. Their offensive line's bad. Their defense isn't that good. It could be a long season for Aaron Rodgers. Chiefs scored quick twice and held the Chargers at bay. Pretty easy victory. Kansas City's probably the best complete football team right now in the league. And then last night, really a big surprise for me. Not so much that Washington won, but that Oakland's offense did nothing. Washington kept them off balance all night, beat them by 17. Derek Carr looked terrible. They didn't have any offense throughout the whole game. So, that's an interesting game. That Derek Carr and Amari Cooper and Michael Crabtree, Marshawn Lynch, they all just couldn't get on track. Redskins got a good shot. They'll be battling the Eagles and the Cowboys for that first spot up there. Tonight we got Dallas and Arizona. I don't know that I watched much of that. Dallas should handle them. Arizona without David Williams is terrible. David Johnson is terrible. So I think Dallas will handle that game on the road. Get back to the power rankings. I'm going to put Kansas City up there at 1. I got to put New England up there at 2. And after that, maybe Atlanta. Maybe Atlanta 2B. Atlanta's up there as well. After that, man, it's tough. Denver losing. Steelers losing. Detroit losing. Tampa Bay losing. I guess Philadelphia move up to the 4 spot. And then I still put Oakland in the 5 spot. I think they'll have enough to get it done once the season, gets going. So keep an eye on them Patriots stuff. They get a little defense. That offense is stroking pretty good with Brandon Cooks and Chris Hogan and Gronk and all the many pieces they got going. Kansas City as well. Kansas City shores up the defensive backfield. They'll be okay. And those two will be battling for the AFC. I'm not sure anybody can battle Atlanta right now. I think they're too good on offense and defense. Got too many pieces on offense, and their defense rushes the passer. So right now it's looking like a rematch of last year's Super Bowl. Anyway, that's my Week 3 review. Talk to you soon.